In this video, I'd like to put things in perspective. And at the end of this video, you'll realize that your life is excellent and the people around you are excellent. Even the people you hate right now and are mad with are excellent. Now let's put this in perspective. I've heard a lot of suffering out there. Now my suffering is from my mother poisoning me by messing around with the pharmaceuticals like she's a mad scientist, like she's a doctor, and she knows better than all the doctors prescribing me. She's slipping her own pills in, opiates, putting me to sleep when she feels like it, just slipping me pills when she doesn't want me speaking, and there's an overdose involved, and I get damage to my nervous system where I never walk, move my legs, arms, or my talking is affected for life. Nothing ever works right again in my nervous system. My talking is different for life. My walking is different for life. My nervous system is different for life. The way I write my name is different for life. The teachers realize this sudden change in my movements, my nervous system, my talking, my walking, the way I write my name, all of it. And it's permanent. And every single time I have a seizure, I'm walking down the street and I have a seizure and I get bloodied up and I wake up to a car running over my hair, I will remember the person who violated my body. So we got a level like mine, what is called permanent damage. This is where another human being permanently damages another human being in a physical way. Then you got permanent mental damage. Then you got just damage. Then you got words, threats, and mistakes. Those are some of the different levels I have. Like, for instance, let's say your son calls you a name and your car breaks down because some idiot runs a red light. What level of shit has somebody put upon you? How have they violated you? They violated the law and wrecked your car. So they wrecked your belongings. But belongings can be replaced. If somebody burns down your house, it can be replaced. If somebody runs a red light and hits your car, it can be replaced. And you won't have to feel that every day for the rest of your life. So that's the lowest level that somebody can put upon you, is when they threaten you, use violent words upon you, or destroy your property. If you're at this level where somebody has threatened you, said something you didn't like, or has destroyed your property, know that that is nothing. It could get a lot worse. They could destroy your person. Instead of threatening you, they could put their hands on you. It gets bad out there. I've seen this many times before. The next one is violence. When people get violent on meth, or maybe they're on, I've seen a lot of this with steroids. People who lift weights, they're trying to stay all tough in their 50s, so they take steroids. Freddie Pepe, a lot of people I've seen do this, but they lose it really quick. They become this roid rage guy that just gets angry and they get violent and hurt other people. Let's say somebody does this and punches you, breaks your arm, or harms you in a way. Well, what level of damage did that person commit? If they broke your arm and now your arm won't work for the rest of your life properly, that is permanent damage. There is no higher level of violating another person's body. If you take a baseball bat and break somebody's legs and they never can walk again, you violated their body to the very top limit. And that person has the most complaints, and that person needs to be on disability and get the most help. I hear a lot of these people crying about their anxiety, or how their mother left them, or how their girlfriend left them, or how somebody ran a red light and ran into their car, or how their brother called them a name and said they're going to come down to the house, or how somebody said they're going to burn their house down, or somebody said they're going to run their car through their front door, or run their car up their ass, or whatever it is. And that you can get over. You can get over that in the afternoon. You can literally call the person up and get over that in the afternoon. Let's say somebody psychologically damages you. Now, that's going to take years of therapy and discussions and getting over it. That's a little hard, but again, you can get over it. But the one that requires a lot of medical care, medications, and help, or you never get over it, is permanent damage to the body. That is like cutting off somebody's legs with a machete and then soldering it shut. That's like poisoning somebody with pills and making it so their nervous system is fried. That's like injecting somebody with opiates and causing an overdose. That's in destroying their brain so they're half brain dead for the rest of their life. That's like drinking and driving, getting in an accident and crippling a mother and putting her in a wheelchair, and then her daughter gets taken away. That's like firing off a bomb so loud that children are going deaf in another country. That's like the U.S. dropping a bomb and innocent women and children getting blown up and crippled and having to be in wheelchairs and needing hearing aids for the rest of their life. That's the level you don't get over until you get a prosthetic leg. That's the level of pain and suffering my mother caused me. It's worse than rape. It's worse than property destruction. It's worse than assault. It's worse than a hate crime. And if it's your own mother that has control over your doctors and your medical records, you could be really fucked like I am. My mother not only destroyed and violated my body, made it so I was a shaky, falling down mess, where everybody for my whole entire life asked me why I'm falling down, why I can't move my legs, why you need to be on Social Security, you need doctors, you need doctors. But yet, my mother continues to move me around the country and says, no, 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 no. He just needs these pills, that's all. And then I get worse. That is the level you don't get over. That is the level that I am seeing in lots of people like Angly Beth. Angly Beth is going to be disabled for her entire life. She will never be able to hold a job. Why? Because she's had her body and mind destroyed permanently. Angly Beth will never ever hold a job or be normal again because Big Pharma and her parents destroyed her body and mind. Now, my mother tried to do the same thing to me, and she did destroy my body. She absolutely destroyed my nervous system and gave me a neurological disorder. I absolutely experienced an overdose at age 7 from pharmaceuticals my mother was messing around with. My mother absolutely died of liver failure in 2011. My mother was absolutely stealing my Vicodin in 2009 to 2010. My mother was absolutely drinking alcohol for the only 10 hours she was home from the hospital as she was dying with liver failure. My mother absolutely was popping pills on a regular basis. My mother was absolutely forcing pills upon me in Westford at a young age. My mother was absolutely giving me medications I was not prescribed at a young age. My mother was absolutely, positively giving me extra medications and insanely high doses of medications that you cannot give to a child, like Ipecac and opiates. My mother was absolutely destroying my health and lying to doctors at a young age. My mother was absolutely lying to doctors and purposely having me over-medicated, lying to me and trying to fool me into thinking I have illnesses that I do not have. My mother absolutely did all these things, and these are the reasons why I'm sick today. Now, I have overcome a lot of these barriers, but my father still to this day is trying to build more barriers for me to overcome. And I am tired after 25 years of overcoming every barrier my mother and father could put up. I'm on my 10,000th barrier that my father and mother have put up, and my father's getting ready to add more barriers. I just want to get better. I just want to work, go to the doctors, and collect my Social Security. Get better, that's it. But after 25 years, I don't know how many more of these made-up barriers that my father and mother make up that I can overcome. I've gone to the neurologist. I've gone to the state. I've gone to Social Security. I've gone everywhere that's necessary. I got a mailing address. I got a phone line. But the problem that I always run into is my father and mother continue to want to lie and say that there's nothing wrong with me. It's all some made up fantasy. It's all made up. Don't help him. Don't pay for anything. Then the insurance stops paying for stuff. My doctors don't want to order very much more because they get in a standstill, up, down, side to side. They don't know what to make, heads or tails. Plus, now my father has provided fraudulent medical records from psychiatrists that my mother spoke to, and that's it. Yes, during my whole childhood, this is what my mother would do. My father would pay for us to go to a psychiatrist 2.5 hours away in Boston. Then my mother would speak to the psychiatrist and make up a bunch of stories about swimming medals and how I'm trying to get back at her and I have attachment disorder and I'm bipolar. She would come out with everything she could come out with. The doctor would smile, love this, prescribe a shitload of pills, and then we would walk out there. Then the doctor would write a book about this and have me sign because he's writing a book. This is what my father sends to these doctors, neurologists. What the fuck is a neurologist gonna do with that? Nothing. It doesn't help him at all. All it does is stop my doctors from being able to help me. Because a neurologist needs paperwork on my movements, my coordination issues, my bumping in the furniture, my injuries, my seizures, stuff like that. But here's the problem. My father had little interest in if I was getting hurt by his wife or not. And my mother did not want anybody finding out what she did to me and was still doing to me. My mother did not want anybody to know that she was making up mental illnesses to try to make me look ill. And still to this day, my father does not want this story to be true. He wants the story to be, we gave this guy an excellent childhood, and he's just a shithead. That's it. That's all to see here. Now, don't ask me any more questions and let me go get drunk and vacation already. Leave me alone already. That's my father's opinion. That's what my father wants. What I want is to just live a normal life like a human being. I don't want to be less than human. But until this gets handled, that's where we're at. I'm still less than human, thanks to my father's and mother's choices.